Only the Strong TV, your boy D Wash, aka Battling. Week 3 is upon us, and it's going down. It's going down real big. I think this is the um, best matchups that we have had up until this point. First matchup under review is PJ Cats against the Columbus Gamblers. The most noteworthy thing about this game is that both of these teams are 0-2. And it needs to be said that after this game, one of these teams will be 0-3. You get me? 0-3. It's never good to be down 0-3 at any point during the season, even though there's 10 games left after week 3, which will give you an opportunity to get in the playoffs. But it's never a good thing, man. Never a good thing. ESPN gives the advantage to Columbus Gamblers, and I would have to agree. However, I would not be surprised if PJ Cats pulls it out because his team, at least for the first or through the first 2 weeks, have been putting up more points than the Columbus Gamblers. So we'll see. It's a slugfest between two teams, again, that are 0-2. Next matchup is between Me Champ and No Mercy for You. I remember when these two teams came in the league, and now both of these young men are trying to go from being boys to men, really trying to grow up in the game of fantasy football and own their keep. Me Champ has gotten off to a fast start. He's standing at 2-0, 2-0, whereas No Mercy for You is standing at 1-1. ESPN gives the advantage to No Mercy for You. And I would agree. I'd agree. But again, Me Champ has managed to win with the assistance of his quarterback and without the assistance of his quarterback. Not a big Matt Schaub fan. I know he put up ridiculous numbers last week. I don't really see him doing that on a regular basis. Matt Schaub's one of those guys, either he's on fire or he's ice cold. So if we could ever get him to function somewhere in the middle, man, it'd be a wonderful thing. I agree. I get the advantage to No Mercy for You. Believe he'll move to 2-1 and give Me Champ his first loss, taking him to 2-1. Next matchup is between the Underdogs and Hard Nuts. Hard Nuts is standing at 0-2 right now, going up against the Underdogs, who is 1-1. The Underdogs have been resilient in their efforts. They have managed to hold on to 2 top 5 quarterbacks and drawn 500, through the first 2 games. Their draft was questioned because they really didn't get any decent backs, and Underdogs just was weak at the running back position. However, he's looking a little stronger. He has both Karel Buckhalter and I believe he has Noshawn Moreno, and looks like as of right now he's running with Steve Slayton, Karel Buckhalter, and 3 wide receivers: Vincent Jackson, Jericho Cotchery, Devery Henderson. Phillip Rivers is at quarterback. For that reason, I had to give the edge in this game to the Underdogs. ESPN gives the advantage to the Underdogs. However, I do like the acquisitions that the Hard Nuts made this week by acquiring Terrell Owens, Fred Taylor, and Cedric Benson, and giving up Antonio Gates. So the only thing I don't like about his team is that he really doesn't have a quarterback. But I tell you, once LaDainian Tomlinson comes back off that injury, Jamal Lewis comes back, pairing him up with Cedric Benson, Anquan Bolden, Terrell Owens. Man, that's a nice roster that I believe can stack up against pretty much anybody. So I hope Hard Nuts gets off the snide this week, man, and goes to 1-2, drops Michi to 1-2. Right now, I have to give the advantage to the underdogs, man. Got to go with them because Hard Nuts just hasn't put up enough points. So we'll see how these new players perform on this team this week. Next matchup is going to be between the Barbecuers and the Money Men. Here it is. ESPN is giving the advantage to Hilltop Money Men, who is currently 1-1, over the Barbecuers, who is also 1-1. Just taking a closer look at the rosters. Let's see here. Is there anything in particular that stands out about this game? I really like the running backs of the Barbecuers. I like that Jay Cutler came on somewhat last week. But right now, Tony Romo, he is in a better offensive system than Jay Cutler. I think they're still trying to figure out their identity in Chicago. So for that reason, I would go with Hilltop Money Men because they have a more solid player at the quarterback position. However, Barbecuers, they could pull this out with the production of Steven Jackson, Ryan Grant, Tim Hightower, Marcus Colston. Looks like Barbecuers have put some trust in the young rookie Johnny Knox, and who appears to have emerged as Jay Cutler's favorite target. So we'll see how that comes out. But I will give the advantage here in agreement with ESPN to Hilltop Money Men, which will take him to 2-1. Next matchup is between Monkeys and Bangin'. Monkeys and Bangin'. This is the battle between the undefeateds. Both of these guys are 2-0. 2-0. None of them have tasted defeat, but after this week, one of these guys will come back to the pack and join the group of people who have tasted defeat. Right now, still Monkeys is given the edge or the advantage by ESPN. Just at a quick glance at the rosters. Of course, I agree with still Monkeys having the edge. However, seems like these players on Bang's teams, while they're questionable, they're like mysteries. You never know what they're going to do. And who knew last week that Mario Manningham was going to put up 21 points, man. 10 catches, 150 yards. I mean, no one knew that. And just seems like Bangin' has been finding a way to win. So while I do give the advantage to Still Monkeys, I wouldn't be surprised if something ridiculous happened, like a daggone kicker scored a touchdown on a fake field goal or something. I mean, that's kind of how it's been going for Bangin', man. So that's where it's at. And he also has Drew Brees, so I mean, enough said about that. Next matchup, last matchup. Most of you have already seen the video posted. War words between the G-Men and battling. Right now, ESPN is giving the advantage to the G-Men. And on paper, I would agree. I have a bunch of backup running backs running, battling. Doesn't have his starters in. Marion Barber's banged. Felix Jones is in for him. Westbrook is banged up. LaShawn McCoy is in for him. Pierre Thomas is coming back for to play in his first game since the season started. And of course he has Reggie Wayne. I take him over Braylon Edwards any day. Lauren Robinson, who's been a lot of people's sleeper, and we managed to pick him up. I'll take him over Derek Mason as of right now, but Derek Mason is a savvy veteran. Jermichael Finley looks like G-Man is still putting trust in him and thinking he's going to come through. A lot of people are high on him. I would give the slight advantage to G-Man on paper. However, I don't think G-Man's coming out with the victory. But again, that's just my subjective outlook on it. But objectively, he does have the advantage. However, I think we'll be the last team standing. That's what it is, fellas. Just your week 3, man. Pre-game analysis. Signing out.